What up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today on Fitness Tech Reviews, we're going to be going over the Halo View. This is from Amazon. They did have a Halo band earlier that did not have a screen. Now they're looking to get into the fitness world with a screen. I have some positives, I have some negatives, but let's go ahead and get right into it. Go over the specs real quick. It is coming in at about $80. You can get it in 3 different colors: black, lavender, and green. It does have almost an inch screen, 0.95 inch AMOLED display. It is a touch screen with a little button at the bottom that you do have to get used to a little bit. It does have 50 meters of water resistance, comes with 7 days of battery life, has a heart rate sensor, SpO2 sensor, a skin temperature sensor, and a step counter all built in. It does not have a GPS. Also, if you are going to be running this band, you are going to need Android 8 or better or iOS 13 or better. And of course, you're also going to need the Halo app as well, but we'll get into that in a second. Alright, let's go ahead and get into the app itself. Right here on the news feed, it has pretty much everything built in. I am currently having the worst trouble trying to sync this band. It says go into the settings and hit sync, and it is just not syncing. I'm just going to do this review relatively quickly. Typically, I go a little bit more into depth about my thoughts and stuff like this. Let's first go with the positives. It's got a full week of battery life. That's great. Another one of the positives, it's sleep tracking. So when you go into the data and you go into your sleep, you kind of kick back a couple nights. It did great with sleep tracking. And with that, it gives you a sleep score. That sleep score does come with the Halo membership. You do get that free year with the Halo View when you buy it, but you do have to pay $4 a month after that. Its sleep tracking is really great. I was very surprised by it. And you also get text message notifications throughout the band itself when you have it on and it's actually synced. Right now, still not syncing for some reason. But let's go into things I'm not the biggest fan of. It's activity tracking. So when I go into my activity tracking and it kind of goes into this, going into my fitness, and I had a high heart rate of 151. That is way off. I got into about the 180s using my Whoop band. Not the biggest fan, and that wasn't just a one-off time. I used it a multitude of different times. Now I got a heart rate high of a 143. I was dying this Saturday, and that was pretty disappointing. Yes, it doesn't have the best fit on my wrist. I did get the medium large, and I do have smaller wrists. I should have gotten the small, apparently, but when I did pull it up, it did get my heart rate, and it never really fell down when I did that, so I don't see that as a problem. But yes, it is a problem as far as high-intensity workouts are concerned. I did do a run, and it did do a lot better with its tracking on the run, and since it's not syncing right now, I can't show you that. You can tell I'm not the biggest fan of this band. But let's go into the rest of the data real quick. You do have a movement type thing, which is great, kind of find your movement score. It's kind of just for newbies more than anything else, and just in a general sense. This band is really more meant for newbies in the fitness industry, so this is a great way to start. Then you have tone. This is interesting. They did this on the other Halo band, but they had a speaker on it, and it always caught your conversations, gave you an idea of how you were. But when you go into live, so if I start a live right now, it gives me an idea of how it is. So right now, confident, knowledgeable, opinionated, focused. I mean, all these sound pretty interesting. But my energy is going more negative. Now it's over at high energy. I don't really know exactly what this is good for you. Uncomfortable? Sure. But in general, you can get into some more details and stuff like that. If you are somebody looking to see how you sound, I mean, I guess this could be a helpful tool. I'm not going to be one of those people who think that's a helpful tool. Next, body fat percentage. So you can see, not the most favorable picture of me. It says I had 26% body fat percentage. I've done an in-body scan relatively recently. Yes, I did gain some weight over the holidays, but I was at about 19% on that in-body, and to say I'm all the way at 26% is just off. They try to go into clinical accuracy of everything, what your lean body mass, and all of this. Not the biggest fan. It's also relatively awkward being in front of that camera. I didn't see it as that accurate whatsoever. I was pretty disappointed by it. I was thinking, hey, if there was one savior, it might be this body fat percentage. You'll be able to build around it. No. Not the biggest fan. It gives you some related programs, which probably one of the things it is best for is the programs. So going into Discover, this has everything built in, fresh new starts, yoga foundations. They even have Orange Theory built into this, which is very interesting, and I think it can go a long way to start somebody who is new to everything, and even has some recipes built in, which is awesome, some running, some stuff like that, all built in. Again, the majority of this comes with a Halo membership, and it is $3.99 a month, but you do get the free 1 year with the Halo View if you were looking to try to do that. And then the live, again, is going with the live mode, and then when you go into the settings, again, not synced, doesn't want to sync anymore. At this point, they have a lot of things on data to help protect your data. Amazon hasn't been the best with data, so they're really trying to protect your data. And you can kind of delete your data if you need to, or you can put on the cloud backup. If you see, I did not. I'm even deleting my scan right now because I don't really want Amazon to have all that. The stuff you do get with a Halo membership, you get that tone analysis, you get that body composition. Not a big fan of either one. And then the programs, the workouts, the recipes, and the yoga and stuff like that, the majority of that is on members. There are a limited basis without a membership. You do get activity sessions without a membership, but you don't get an activity score. You will not get activity intensity, or you will not get your movement health, movement score, or personalized movement data. You also won't get sleep scores or sleep stages without a membership. This is all very disappointing. You do get sleep temperature and time awake and time asleep without a membership. You get your steps, you get your heart rate, and you get your calories burned without a membership. But that's a lot of the stuff is behind that $4 paywall. Yes, it's not that expensive, but it's a little disappointed that they're really trying to push this membership. And as you can tell, if you ever had Amazon Prime, I'm pretty sure that membership will go up at some point as well. Alright, let's talk about the band itself and its user interface. It's got everything built in with all the sensors in the back, and it's clip-on USB charging in the back. You do have a little button at the bottom that's kind of hard to see here, but it's just a back button at the bottom. That's really the only way to go back. So when you swipe downward, this is going to give you all of your settings. If you need to go into settings like syncing, which I had a problem with, nighttime mode, the battery life, and notifications right here, watch face, brightness, all that built in if you all need that, or if you want to add in a pin. Hitting that bottom button will go back. You want any tools, this will give you stuff like alarms, timers, and stopwatches. Going back from there, then your exercises. There aren't really that many exercises: walking, running, cycling, fitness training, HIIT, and weights, yoga. So really not that much built in, but that doesn't really bother me that much. And then you have all your data built in, like your activity and your sleep score, where your heart rate is, and your blood oxygen levels. The blood oxygen levels did work out fairly well. When you swipe on over, that's where your heart rate is, that's where activity is, your steps for the day, and your calories burned, and how your sleep was that previous day. And when you swipe the other way, it's essentially just the same thing. And when you swipe up, that's the same thing going backwards the other way. It's a pretty simple system. Not many ways to customize it. It's all built in. There are a couple of different watch faces within those settings, so when you do go down to watch face, you can swipe on over. Not really like the craziest options in the world, but basic stuff if you want to try to check it around a little bit. If you're a cat fan, apparently now I'm a cat fan. So what are my overall thoughts and recommendations with this band? So, not the biggest fan of this band. If you're talking about getting your best personalized fitness data, the heart rate tracking is not that great, especially in high intensity. Maybe a little bit better in running, but when you're fluctuating that heart rate, I don't see it catching you that well. If you have smaller wrist, I would definitely make sure, I do have small wrist, but I've never had to buy a small band. In this regard, I should have bought a small band, and I've never had that problem before. I would recommend this to some newbies that are looking for some great sleep tracking and some built-in things in the Amazon app itself, but again, you only get that for a year with the Halo View. I would recommend so many other bands besides this. The Fitbit Inspire 2, you'll probably get around this price range, maybe even cheaper. Even the Fitbit Charge 4, it might be even a little bit more expensive, but that even has GPS built into the band itself, and the heart rate tracking is second to none with that. So I'm not really sure who the Halo band was really trying to attract. I really wouldn't recommend this to anybody, I guess, if you're really deep in the Amazon ecosystem, but the tracking isn't that great. The band isn't that great. The sleep tracking is great. Don't get me wrong. Love the sleep tracking. And a lot of the insights also work well, but really not the best band. Well, hopefully that was helpful. If it was, please smash that like button. If it was really helpful, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you'll be one of the first ones to know when my newest video comes out. If you're going to be using any of the links down below, it's going to shoot you over to Amazon, and I will get a little commission on each one of your purchases, and that's going to help me grow my channel. As always, stay happy, stay healthy, and above all, stay positive. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.